Welcome to Pamper Racing Radio. I'm Pamper Racing Sharon, and joining me is Jay Huseman, and we are here for the Colorado National Review for the ARCA West Series. A little bit rain shortened, but a great race nonetheless.
At least the building, at least the building of it. I know we only got just under half of it in. I can relate to that. That's how Jackson Motor Speedway's weekend went, so I feel for them.
I understand. It was a pretty exciting race. I did get a chance to watch part of that race, at least the part that ran. The ARCA Menard Series West, Colorado 150, presented by the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame at Colorado National Speedway, was deemed complete after weather interrupted the race with 60 of the scheduled 150 laps complete. It was 15 laps short of the halfway point. Jake Bowman, who started from the General Tire pole, led all 60 laps and is the winner of the 100th ARCA Menard Series West victory for Bill McAnally Racing. And it was the first for Bowman, and Kyle Keller ended up finishing second. Trevor Huddleston, who started from shotgun on the field, finished in third. Eric Johnson Jr. and Tanner Wright rounded out the top five. But with deteriorating weather conditions and tomorrow's scheduled track activities already canceled, the race was declared official per the ARCA Menard Series Rulebook, Section 1-6A, which references extraordinary circumstances. The next race for the ARCA Menard Series West is the Napa Auto Parts 150, presented by the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway on Saturday, June the 14th. The race will be streamed live on Flow Racing, and it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. What were your overall thoughts of what happened in this race?
Good. Like I said, good start to the race. Would have been interesting to see how far Trevor Huddleston could have recovered and gotten up there and gotten in the mix in the second half of the race. I will say this and I wasn't even aware of the ARCA Menard Series rule, whatever you read there, Section 1-6A, under the extraordinary conditions of calling it official if they haven't hit the halfway mark. I know that's kind of a pretty standard rule across most tracks everywhere, any kind of racing. I will tell you this, any kind of series or track, they look at a lot of things and try to make that best decision again, whether it be postponement until the next day, especially for the ARCA Menard Series, even though it's the West Series and they run out there in that area, even coming back, to finish it or do double features, which is what we're looking to do in a couple weeks. That's still not the ultimate best decision, but it's tough call. I mean, and nobody wins in this. I kind of feel bad, being that it was Jake Bowman's first win. That's great. Got his first win, but a lot of people are always going to have that asterisk by it, if you will, of did he really win? Would he have won? And that's just a shame. We've seen that at all levels. But huge for Bill McAnally Racing with 100. That doesn't surprise me. I know how much they've been involved with and a huge part of the West Series.
Absolutely. Rain equals good news, bad news for whoever. Good news for Jake Bowman, Bill McAnally Racing. Not so good news for Trevor Huddleston. I think he was on a mission to win that race. So I know he wanted that race to go on at some point in time. But you're right. ARCA has to make the best decision based on the circumstances that they are dealing with. But let's get into the race itself, because it was quite interesting. It was the 100th win for Bill McAnally Racing, but that persistent rainfall descended upon the 0.375-mile facility with weather showing no signs of dissipating. So the West Series officials made the best call that they could before that halfway point, handing Bowman his very first victory after 7 starts, and Bill McAnally their 100th overall. Even before receiving an assist from Mother Nature, though, Bowman had already established himself as a favorite for the win. A solid lap of 16.608 in qualifying put Bowman on the pole, and he withstood an early charge from Kyle Keller and easily held that top spot until the showers brought that rain to a premature end.
Well, and we talked about the 100 wins for McAnally, but there's more of a story there as Bowman actually snapped a prolonged winless streak for winless drought for McAnally, whose accomplishments on the West Series include 11 championships. The most recent West Series victory, though, from a McAnally-owned car occurred back in 2022 when Cole Moore passed that season's champion Drake Drew with 16 laps remaining at All-American. Hard to believe that it's been that long since McAnally car actually went to victory lane.
Yes, it is, because they are kind of the premier team, I should say, in that series. Now, Colorado proved to be a fitting location for McAnally to find his way back to victory lane in the West Series. McAnally team has registered 8 Colorado victories since the West Series first competed there back in 1995, with a group of winners that include drivers like Eric Holmes, Chris Eggleston, Haley Deegan, and the current NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, Jesse Love.
And that just tells you part of their history when it comes to that, of who have been through that team and been a part of it. So now the circumstances may have been unorthodox due to that rain, but Bowman is now ingrained into that legacy of McAnally's program, which is one of the most successful operations in West Series history. And Bowman, still only 18 years old, has several more chances ahead this season to keep tallying victories for McAnally.
Absolutely. And we told you about the top 5 there, but there were some other finishers here. Robbie Keneally was number 6. That's the teammate to Kyle Keller. Todd Souza finished in 7th. Blake Lothian, a rookie, as well as Robbie Keneally, also a rookie, finished in 8th. Eric Reed, 9th, and Holly Clark, the hometown favorite, in her debut, finished in 10th place.
You know, and there again was a great storyline. Would have liked to see it play out all the way to the finish. For Holly Clark, was 1 lap down at the time, but again, might have been able to get back on the lead lap. You never know. So unfortunate from that aspect, but again, you make the best of this situation.
Even though it was bad news for Trevor Huddleston that the rain interfered with his mission to win, he still has the points lead, but not by much.
No, and this one, again, the top 5 just excites me. Trevor Huddleston, as you mentioned, now with 4 races in, 1 win, 3 top 5s and top 10s, leads by 2 points. Tanner Reif has almost an identical stat line there. The only difference, real big difference, is Trevor Huddleston has led 186 laps to Tanner Reif's 8. But when I look at their average start, both 3.3, the average finish 5.3 to 5.5. I mean, that's just a tough battle. So, and it doesn't end there. Eric Johnson Jr. is 6 points back in 3rd. Kyle Keller, you mentioned, -7. And then Robbie Keneally is -11. Blake Lothian, you mentioned him, right now in points is 6, is 30 back. That's getting to be a little bit of a tough gap with about half of the season here gone for the West Series, but we'll have to wait and see. But that top 5, man, 11 points through 4 races, that's exciting.
That is exciting. It is going to be a tight points battle, I think, in the ARCA West, and we've got more races to watch in that series. So they race through Phoenix. So their season finale is at Phoenix. So we've got a lot to look forward to. I mentioned it earlier, but it bears repeating. The ARCA Menard Series West gets nearly a month off before they make their second of 2 scheduled visits to Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway on June 14th. The Napa Auto Parts 150, presented by the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame, will go green at around 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's 10 p.m. Eastern time, with Flow Racing providing the coverage. And I don't know, I've really enjoyed my Flow Racing subscription and being able to watch some of these races, Jay.
Well, I know you're talking about that gap. It's a little over, 3 weeks, if you will. And we say that, oh, we got to wait, you say almost a month. But when you think about it, it goes by like that. I mean, in a flash, because we're talking about being halfway through a lot of these seasons already. And we're like, whoa, where did that time go? So it'll come up pretty darn quick.
It will indeed. And we did mention it earlier, but the ARCA Menard Series is racing at Michigan International Speedway on June the 6th at 6 p.m. That should be easy to remember.
Right, there you go, the 6 at 6.
And
now the East.
That
go
will
ahead.
be available for viewing on Fox Sports 2 if you have that. It's going to be fun to watch.
Now, I was going to say the East Series, that one we have to wait a little bit for sure, because that one's July 18th at Dover Motor Speedway at 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't know how you're going to remember those. Those numbers don't match up at all.
They don't match up at all. But we've got plenty of time to remind everybody of those races that are upcoming. Go ahead.
I was going to say that that's how you remember it. Tune in here each and every week, and we'll at least talk about it and preview it in the week leading up to it. So there you go.
Exactly right. A lot of always great articles over at arcaracing.com. And if you want to follow along with the racing, you don't have Flow Racing. They always have radio coverage as well as up-to-the-minute bullet points of what's happening at the track right there on their website.
It is. That is one of the cool things I've always seen and liked on the ARCA Menards homepage. I've actually been on there a couple of times to follow along with that. I know they've had some other dignitaries or guests that have been involved in it, and Venturini is one that comes to my mind of that I've interacted with on there. So that's always cool.
All right. And I really enjoy the ARCA Menards, the ARCA platform, all of the different series in that platform. They always put on a good show, and it's always fun to follow what's happening within that group.
Well, and I will say this, just in the history that I've been doing this, which is getting to be a long history at Fan for Racing, but it seems like the West Series normally doesn't have one dominant driver like we've seen in some of the other series. It always seems like they have just an absolute tight point battle going into their championship. On the East, we saw William Sawalich, Ty Gibbs, a couple of drivers, just really have a dominant season and good on them. But, and that's good to see, but I also like to see that where, man, it comes down to the wire and you just don't know.
Exactly, and that does happen. We'll see that happen again probably because we see some tight point battles across the board here. Okay, anything more you want to say before we move on here, Jay?
Well, I just will say this. I know when Mother Nature's involved, there's one victor and however many losers, that's tough. Like I said, being that I am on the track side and involved with a racetrack, attacking the track or leadership, they make the best decision they can, so just keep that in mind, if you will. Nobody wins but Mother Nature. Let's just say that.
And that is the truth. All right. Do watch for more. We've completed all of our reviews from the weekend of racing. 5 races, 3 from NASCAR's top 3 series, and 2 from the ARCA Menards Series platform with the ARCA West, as well as the ARCA Menards Series. And upcoming tonight is our NASCAR Hot Topic Sound Off, 10 o'clock time, Eastern time, for our Hot Topic Sound Off live stream. So we hope other folks will join us because we're really trying to make this interactive. We like to hear other points of view, so we hope they'll chime in this time around.
Most certainly, and I know the way social media is, all we ask is that you be respectful with your opinion. We certainly, if you watch, you've seen Chris and I, or Sharon and I, all of us combined may not necessarily agree with each other, but we're respectful about it. So please share your thoughts on whatever our hot topic is. If you have your own hot topics, there may be things that are important or you want to highlight that we haven't thought of. So please do share.
Yes, indeed. We always appreciate that. So again, we do thank you for watching. And this is not our only review. Be sure you check out the other reviews that we've got put out for the weekend of racing at Charlotte, as well as this one from Colorado National. And we will look forward to doing previews later on this week for the races that are upcoming at Nashville. So definitely looking forward to that. I don't see ARCA on the schedule for this weekend, so it's just NASCAR's top 3 series this weekend.
The next one of June 6th would be the first one. That's a 2-week gap.
Yep. So again, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Hot Topic Sound Off tonight.
Talk to you soon.
Take care, everybody.